would like to inflict into the story, because I don't always think about it at this time. And also, why did the fire in Arizona start? Coming all the way from Wyoming.
Because,
Resort down.
Well, because in my mind, I mean, I might be completely wrong, but in my mind, they murdered a police officer, and the only way to cut all the loose ends off is to take you out as well. And I think
they
that
couldn't get me.
They did not get you. Yay, women! But yeah, I think there's a lot more to this story, and I think that the deputy, although nice people can get forced into doing bad things when they're threatened. You know, mobsters do terrible things to people.
Yeah.
They threaten everything.
That's true.
Yeah.
Don't really fight them.
Like they could just say, like, we're not going to kill you. We will kill your entire family. And that would force somebody to do something that they did not want to do. And that makes sense to me, especially considering the fires afterwards.
Yeah.
But they didn't get you.
But everywhere the fires, like in Jackson Hole, my house fire, and suddenly the people where we stayed, they were threatened by just smoking it. But it was a threat, like, get her out.
Well, you opened the door with flames coming at you. Yeah. That's a threat. Uncle Michael, his van was set on fire. Yeah. He jumped out. I remember he jumped out of the house naked off the second floor. That was kind of a funny story. Well, see, when I was growing up as a kid, that was a funny story. I mean, it's not funny.
No, it's not.
But it is kind of, because he was naked.
When you know what's behind it, you know.
Yeah. Well, because at that time I was a kid and I didn't understand everything.
But they chased you out of town. They chased me out of town.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Why did they do that?
Yeah.
When you have to think, like, the only reason to chase you out would be because they committed a murder. Because if it was truly a suicide by cop accident kind of thing, they would not have to, you would not have to leave town.
Right. If my friend had not told me what her husband had heard, you know, he was sitting in one booth and the people behind him, they were a bunch of thugs, naturally.
Right.
Talking about it.
How were they dressed? How were they dressed? Did he say?
Well, he didn't say. But they were talking about Boyd. And then they said, we've got to get Elfrida out of town. She knows too much. And he remembered that. Mm-hmm. And he reflected that and he told us.
What would you know too much about? Like, what would you know too much about? The murder of your husband.
Well, they don't know. They didn't, you know,
right.
talk in detail.
Right, because what he was trying to do...
He had told Brigitte that, his wife, and she in turn told me. And when all this happened, and that house on fire, my house, it was just before Christmas, and all this came back, and I called Sigrid Brigitte. I said, tell me, what did your husband hear?
Yeah.
And that's what. So
and she said that.
Get out of town. And about that time, my DA came to the house, and he says, can you get somewhere, go somewhere? I say, I have a friend in Arizona, go there.
Is that the same DA that came to visit you? Yeah. So you think he's a good guy?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so he had knowledge of suspected things that might come against you from the mobsters. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because in my mind, the fires and the assassination are linked. It's not, of course it is. Yeah. It doesn't make sense that he would get killed by somebody trying to commit suicide, right, and then all your stuff sets on fire. Yes. If it was an accident or a suicide tragedy, yeah, then it would just end there. But it's the fires afterward that show that it was not just a tragic killing of a police officer, that it was a bigger thing. It was an assassination and also an attempt to assassinate you and our family.
Yeah, and the fires kept following me.
Yeah, why? When you ask why, you get the answer. Yeah. Because the mobsters knew you knew too much. Actually, you didn't know too much. They just assumed you knew too much. And it's actually your grandchildren that figured it out. Yeah. That's true. That's absolutely true.
Oh, God. So long ago.
Yeah.